Welcome to Deep Dive Daily.
Good morning. Special good morning to the tennis fans out there. You were treated. The French Open was an epic.
Treat yourself.
The men's final was outstanding. Ultimately, not the result I was looking for, but boy, oh boy, did that offer up the opportunity to live trade, if you will, and or to just enjoy the sport of tennis, because that was a hell of a battle. Congratulations to Miss Coco Gauff. She is not a one slam wonder. She has now won two different slams on two surfaces. Really doing exactly what was hoped for her career, with the amazing potential she showed as a teenager breaking out at this event. So excited for her to win that title. And then, Sinner, oh so close.
Oh, so close.
3 chances.
Not oh so close. Like, how often do people close that?
I mean, he was off the board.
Off the board.
It was 99.9.
Patrick beat me to it, but the sportsmanship award for the weekend goes to Alina Sabalenka, who just went like, I don't know, like, it's fun when Penko does it. When someone else does it, it's like, ew, what are we doing? It's like, I didn't lose, or she didn't win, I lost, like.
Although her comments after were not great. Yeah.
Maybe some of you guys don't watch a lot of tennis or any tennis at all, but one of the most unique things, and it kind of goes hand in hand with all the Rory and Colin and, press conference gate that we've had over the last few months in golf. It's like, that's just part of the deal. If you're in a final, you stand there for a half a goddamn hour holding a stupid plate, because there's a second place trophy. It's usually a plate. You hold it while the other person has the big trophy. And then, you have to give like a speech as a second. Can you imagine not just like going to the press conference, sitting down behind a card table and mope? Like, you're out on court having to talk and then you have to give a presser. Like, can you imagine that after last year's US Open, where Rory has to just stand there like on the green instead of getting to leave, and he just stands there and gets some terrible second place trophy after those putts, and then he has to like congratulate Bryson. Yes, and Ryan Fox, great job. That was kind of a fun Canadian Open for being such a shitty course. Really, 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 really bad playoff. A terrible hole, and they just kept playing it over and over, which is how the Canadian Opens often go. Basketball sucked. Hockey was electric. That's the whole weekend, baby.
Yeah. The under losing in that with that run out was absolutely painful. I agree with Giorgio. It's grass season now in tennis. Just if you didn't already know, Alcaraz is your number 1 rated grass player. Djokovic is number 2. Djokovic, Alcaraz would be your expected Wimbledon final, depending on the draw. Sinner obviously is right there, but he's never done it on grass. That's his weakest surface. Just looking at the data, he might just absolutely kick ass though. He was outstanding at times yesterday. Obviously, he didn't get the clutch points he needed to win, but his level was pretty
especially
amazing.
when he was looking dead to rights late.
Yeah,
and he brought it back. I didn't think that was happening. No, that was.
I think
everyone gets lost in the moment. Like, was this the best match of all time? It wasn't, but it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah, I mean the stakes were high, obviously, but nothing like Federer, Djokovic, and that last Wimbledon final.
I was going to say Fed.
That was. Yeah,
Fed
that
Wimbledon
was like
final is the best one for me.
That one was literally like two. Yeah, you have two generational powers at the end of their peak, and it was like deciding like, well, who is the best of all time on grass? Who is the best all time? Period. Like, it felt like a lot of that was adjudicated in that one match. So that will always be one that I remember. Federer and Nadal, Australian Open final, when they both came back after long injury layoffs. That was pretty phenomenal. That one was amazing because that was like in the era where Hawkeye was a thing, you remember? And you got to challenge. And in the 5th set of that one, the Australian Open final, I'm going to say maybe like 2016, maybe 17.
Yeah.
I feel like every key point in the fifth set got challenged, and it wasn't the zoom once, it wasn't the zoom twice, it was the third zoom to see if the ball caught the line on like every point. It was so good. That one will stand out in my memory. And then if you go back a little bit before that, there was a lot of very, very famous epics. The first time Nadal took Federer at Wimbledon was pretty special. There wasn't really.
Do you think it is just the difference between 5 and 3 that we're not mentioning some of the great women's finals? Like it does take some starch out of. There's been some really good women's finals we've watched. I was thinking that, God, not Ash Barty. Who am I trying to think of that beat Pinko? Man, this has been like right after her. Yeah, didn't she go to
made the one final?
Didn't she go to a different final? Maybe I'm thinking of a semifinal. Honestly, I don't think it was. There were some good Barty finals, but it's funny. Like the stakes are just as high, but without having the best of 5, it just doesn't seem as epic.
Yeah, Rybakina Ons Jabeur Wimbledon final was obviously that one will stand in my mind. That lives in my head rent free, Andy, as the kids say. The Rybakina.
The one that lives rent free for me is
Australian Open women's final was pretty fucking fantastic. Yeah,
Tsitsipas essentially playing the part of Sinner. Yeah, that's the one that lives rent free. And also, it was like one of those things where I just tip your cap, and what are you going to do? He's the GOAT, but him losing from 2 up against Joker was mighty painful after you sit on that future for I feel like I placed it not just at the beginning of the fortnight, like something you were sitting on for a while, looked real good. Couldn't even watch the last
20 to 1-ish, something like that. Yeah, he was a dog that day though, like pretty meaningfully. Like the Sinner Alcaraz match.
I feel he was like 2 to 1.
I always felt like total points won loss was always right on 50-50.
I think that's what made it
the
so
fourth.
Good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the fourth set where Sinner's up 5-3 and has 3 match points. You think, okay, mission accomplished. Just put one of these away and we will move on with our day. Not to be. Hour 44 minutes later, the championship was decided.
I'm talking about eating up my Sundays.
That's so that, and kind of full circle. That's my favorite part about live betting tennis, which is this could be the last point, or there could be 121 more. Like that's unbelievable. You don't get that in golf. Like this might be the last golf shot, or we could have 120 more golf shots. No. This is the last play in football, or there could be 120 more. I guess that kind of if they make the kick to send it to overtime type of deal, that's pretty much the same. But there's still a pretty constrained universe of outcomes in all of these other sports when you get to the death, and in tennis the bounds are off. It's
funny how you mentioned that, and you're correct, but you wouldn't have been a few years ago. And the timing is funny because it's the U.S. Open this week. The U.S. Open plays a 2-hole aggregate for the playoff. And, that just means even if you win the first hole by a stroke, the other guy can beat you by a stroke in the second hole and force a third hole. It's sudden death after that. But before they changed that in 2018, if you were tied at the end of the U.S. Open with any number of other golfers at the top of the leaderboard, you came on Monday and you played 18 holes, a full 18.
Tiger and Rocco, that one Monday.
Yeah, I feel like that was the one where it wasn't close. That's the weird part about that, and why maybe it's not a good format. If somebody just has a bad day, it's very bad, to watch the last 5. Oh, he's up by 6 strokes. Like this is not great golf. This is not great TV right now. That's why match play just ends at that sort of thing. It would be fun if it were match play.
Yeah.
But no, they don't do that anymore in golf. Yeah, you can get 4, 5, 6 extra holes, but it doesn't happen that often.
Let's close the book here on tennis. I don't think there's really anyone besides Alcaraz, Sinner, and Djokovic who is a realistic chance of winning Wimbledon on the men's side. If you want to make a case for Jack Draper, I'll listen, but I'm not really in the Jack Draper wins Wimbledon business personally. I think the women's is absolutely wide open, as Brett asks. There are probably 8 women with a realistic chance here. My mix for women includes Sabalenka and Rybakina. Coco and Iga are next tier. I would say Keys is next tier. Andreeva is next tier. And then, there could be some wild cards. I don't know that. The wild card is Bencic probably. I don't know what's going on with her from a health standpoint, but she kind of ejected on clay, called it a season early, which to me meant she was kind of pointing towards grass, or it could mean that she's hurt, and I don't know. So excited to see what Osaka looks like. Did you see Kvitova is back playing tennis, Andy? She's back from maternity leave. She lost this morning. So I don't know that we're going to see lots of her on grass, but that was kind of a cool reminder that she's back. She lost to Beatriz Haddad Maya in 3.
Where are they playing?
London. This is a new WTA event. I don't remember ever seeing WTA Women's London. I wonder if they're playing at Queen's Club. London in that tennis space is, to me, always meant Queen's Club.
Yeah. I did forget this. They did extra holes. Yeah, the extra, the 18 hole whatever was still tied at the end, and then they had to go further sudden death.
Huh.
Golf's funny like that. Golf's funny. And then weird Tiger wins. It's like the old joke about soccer. 22 guys running around, and then you give Germany the trophy.
Yeah.
It's like you play however many holes, give Tiger the trophy.
Yeah, I don't have any other thoughts or commentary on women. I mean, crazy things happen in Women's Wide Open. Fucking Barbara Krejcikova won last year. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be a wild one. The U.S. Open, I think, is more straightforward. Sinner and Coco. Andreeva is a factor. We'll see who's Zhang's rating on grass is not great. I don't even know if she has any grass data, honestly. Zhang Shenwen, she's like in the 40s for me as far as a grass rating for some reason, so she just must not have very much. She lost to Lulu Sun last year, although a lot of people lost to Lulu Sun last year at Wimbledon. She had a weird, crazy purple patch there. Zhang's all-time 3-8 on grass.
Give her time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's always been weird to me, and I understand it, the differences, but it's been weird to me on some of these, not just women, but men's players too, who are excelled on hard courts and just can't play on grass that well.
Well, that's actually the funny thing, which is right now, Sinner owns hard and Carlos owns the natural surfaces.
Yeah.
Which is very different than Nadal, Federer back
Bring
in
back
the day.
carpet.
It was like,
Bring back carpet.
Back in the day with Federer and Nadal, they were kind of splitting based on court speed. It had nothing to do with, the natural versus the hard.
Oh, that's why people were so butthurt about closing roofs during key matches between key players, where it's like, well, this obviously helps. It's like, well, yeah, but like, pump the brakes. It's raining.
Better than not playing at all.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? Cancel it because it hurts your guy a little?
Yeah. All right. Well, who do you have for the? You have any early U.S. Open golf thoughts as we close the book on tennis?
I have the
course. The time being?
The course. I'm cheering for the course.
Okay.
I'll be cheering for Oakmont to hurt everyone's feelings. I don't know. It's a tough one. Like all the big names.
Driving accuracy up.
I think so. The rough looks pretty nappy. You turn that up, but also if you're short, you're hitting longer clubs into these greens, which are faster than hell, and you're not going to be able to hold them. And then you're going to be playing from, I think around the green isn't going to be as tough. Although, geez, we saw a guy really struggle with around the green when it mattered last night. I did watch most of the end of the golf tournament too. I was almost cheering for Cam Young. And Drew, if you're not familiar with Cam Young's plight, he was the rookie of the year a few years back. He finished second place 5 times his rookie year, including 2 big tournaments. I think the Open and maybe the Players. He was really good. And everyone's like, this guy's
top 10.
Yeah, this guy's going to do it. He's going to do it. And then just hasn't done it. Hasn't done it since. Qualified his way, into next week. But he had a chance to put himself into the playoff, which we didn't know it was going to be a playoff for sure. There were still chasers, but it did end up being the score that would have put him in a playoff. He had like 250 out. All he needed to do is put himself in place for a birdie putt, and he hits it like 280, and just completely flew the green. When they're following the ball, it's like, oh, there's a coiled up electrical cord, and like you're not in the spot you want to be when you see stuff for the TV crew. And then he duffed it from. I mean, he went from rough to rough. It didn't even make it to the green. He, and then at that point, he actually, if he holes out from there, he makes the playoff. It was damn close. He went for it, which was nice, but it was ugly from Cam Young. So nothing is a given around the green just because it's longer stuff. I'm kind of thinking about playing him. That's funny. Brad says that. I might play him. I don't think I've bet on.
He did qualify.
Yes, he did. He won a qualifier last Monday. So I don't think I've bet him a couple years. I'm trying to think when his rookie year was now.
He is 125-1.
Yeah, it's just a big number for a guy he still plays well. I mean, he'll scam you sometime. That's why he's scam you.
I think 10 to win 1,000 sound fine.
Yeah.
10.
Did you see this?
15, 12, 50. What?
Rufus's $1 million challenge versus AI.
I don't know about this. What is?
I didn't listen to the whole episode or catch the whole video, but I saw like the clip that they put on the Twitter. It was a short clip, so maybe it's lacking some context. But this other guy, who I'm not sure who it is, he says, "Would you bet against AI?" And Rufus says, "Not in 5 years."
Forecasters, if you don't know.
Yeah, forecasters. I didn't know which forecasters guy it was. So it's not the guy I know.
There's like 3 or 4 of them, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know which one it was.
Okay.
So he says, "Would you bet against AI?" And Rufus says, "Not in 5 years from now, but today, yes."
Yeah, I would stake Rufus on that if it's even.
The answer is yes. And Rufus says up to $1 million. And I said, okay. And it's going to be golf, which I don't know. Like, hey, this guy's been perfecting a golf model for 10 years. Let's see if AI can catch up in 2 weeks. So that it should be interesting. I think Rufus should be a sizable favorite, even if you have a really good prompt writer and they know what they're doing and it's strong AI. I don't know that it can put the proper context to everything. And also, I don't know the terms of the deal. Is it one matchup? How does it work? See, that's the thing. If it's one matchup, if there's a high variance, or if it's a whole portfolio of bets, because Rufus's portfolio of bets.
Does Rufus put up prices and the AI makes choices? Does the AI put up prices and Rufus makes choices? Like, I guess I need to understand the format of the competition a little bit here, but either way of those two options, I gotta imagine that Rufus should be like minus 10, minus 1,000 if he gets to pick off the AI prices or vice versa. I don't know. I guess vice versa is maybe a little more like if the AI runs good, it could win. I say he. The AI I've gendered it.
Yeah, why are we gendering AI?
I don't know. But no, I'm gonna dig into this now today. I'm dying. I would love to know more about it. That sounds fun though.
It's been a welcome reprieve from the people still talking about poker somehow.
I really don't.
Riots.
I can't even imagine in 5 years AI is going to have caught up to be able to make just pristine prices for golf. No way.
I don't know the way like large language models and like the way that they're able to process.
There's always a qualitative layer to this stuff.
That's fair.
Rufus has been doing this for so many years. I would be surprised if this is game over. AI has solved this in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, maybe not solved, but I don't think it's an easy win anymore. We're just like, yeah, I'd love to bet $1 million against this. Throw variance to the wind. Yeah, no, I might have to sit and listen to that episode. I got some driving to do later on today, so maybe I'll have a chance. Basketball sucked. Hockey was awesome. Do you have any other takes on that? I have a meeting in 10 minutes. I can't.
The basketball game, I have no takeaways from that game too. I really don't know what the hell was going on. I was surprised, obviously, that Indiana didn't put up more of a fight. I was surprised that they had just let the second half run away like that. Obviously, the number of points
Yeah,
scored
it
was
just
the most
was. They didn't
notable
have any
thing.
runs. There was that early run, and then after halftime they got run a little, and they just never had a little comeback run like they like
Yeah.
to do. And
I mean, it feels like we're very destined for Game 5 tied 2-2. To me, I don't know how they split in Indiana, but I think they do. I would probably play Indiana Game 3, and then OKC Game 4. I guess I'm zigzagging. I suppose. I don't know, man. I don't know.
who wins
I
tonight?
guess I didn't see like another gear, another level from the Thunder that really kind of wowed me personally.
Yeah,
Um,
very casually paying attention to it. It wasn't something I was super interested. It just felt like, I guess I should have bet it because it covered easily, but it just felt like the ultimate bounce back. That price
It's
was
like-
a lot though.
After the French Open final, it felt like, when you're watching a great day of racing and then they have the big race is the second to last race, but then the race after is just kind of like, I guess we'll stick around
Yeah.
and watch this one. That's what the basketball game felt like after the French Open final. Which
Well,
was
speaking of that, shout out Sovereignty for
good
being
job
a
by
dick,
Sovereignty.
not racing. Felt like decent chance at the Triple Crown, but you never know.
We'll never know.
If you
We'll
don't
never
take that
know.
layoff, maybe he doesn't win the Belmont.
It was pretty close. I was actually most impressed by
It's a
journalism.
good race.
Honestly, I did not see journalism being that lively of a threat.
AJ, I haven't got through all of them yet, but Tires is a very good show.
Is it okay? I'll
It's-
jump
I mean,
into
it's
that. I
just-
need a good comedy.
It's
I don't
just a
have anything
real,
good going right now.
real
Television.
easy to watch, dumb comedy.
Really, we've blown through all the good TV out there.
No, Tires is very funny. I should watch the rest of
Tires,
those tonight
okay.
when I get a chance.
Was that,
I don't have
is
anything.
that like an FX show?
Hulu maybe.
Hulu?
So maybe it's on FX. I don't know. I was gonna say I'm caught up on a lot of stuff now.
Me too.
Me and the wife are watching The Pit.
Good. It's good.
It's been good.
That one
Hacks.
will be-
Oh yeah,
The Pit will
Tires
be
is on
top
Netflix.
5 for
Good
me.
call.
Well, how far into the pit are you?
Like hour 5.
Okay.
When I watch something with my wife, it goes a lot slower.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how that goes. Hacks was on the list. I'm gonna have to give that
Yeah.
one a shot.
Definitely. I don't want to kind of build up the pit too much, but you got some pretty amazing stuff coming.
Call it a Monday, boys.
Good.
Go. I don't care who wins tonight in hockey because the other team's going to win tomorrow or the next time. It'll be 2-2, as I predicted. I'm cheering for Florida. I'm still cheering for Florida. My air quality still isn't great. Canada.
I just wonder, like, are we sure that Connor McDavid is even out there? Like, he was invisible in that overtime, Like I like if he was really the greatest player in hockey, wouldn't he have scored in either of the 2 overtime opportunities we've seen so far?
Many are saying, should they send him down?
This feels like a 2-man race for the Conn Smythe at this point between Draisaitl and Marchand.
That's
the rat.
The odds. I'm assuming the odds are in agree with you.
I would imagine. I mean, McDavid is invisible out there. This is the biggest moments of the biggest games of your entire career, buddy. What are we doing?
Maybe they send him down to the Oil Kings.
Interesting.
That is I believe the minor league team, according to internets. Let's look at Conn Smythe price real quick before I go. Connor McDavid, still your favorite, plus 105. He did come down a little, but your second favorite's still Bobrovsky.
Huh? That doesn't.
Bennett has had some good.
He's had a great playoffs. He is your goal scoring leader in the playoffs, I think.
He is now 3rd ahead of Draisaitl and Barkov. Barkov is down to 2,100. Marchand's 2,100. Leon Draisaitl 6-1.
Huh. 6-1. Okay. Well, at least he's able to score in overtime. He's able to score in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Period. I haven't seen Connor McDavid put the biscuit in the basket in a long time, Andy.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
I know, but we still see the highlights of his assists, and they're fucking sick.
I'm just kidding, obviously.
We'll get some draft stuff here
Ooh.
as we go, but like I've been doing NHL mocks for work, and I'm like, hey, I should see if I can bet on some of this now that I'm so in the weeds. There's like nothing. There's nothing up for hockey. There's a little bit more up for NBA, but I'm not in tune to that right now. So maybe I'll dig in a little.
You being kind of the chief, kind of architect of NHL draft content on the internet, do you think they're going to use your mocks to make over-unders?
Probably. I mean, that's probably
you're effectively the market maker.
Well, their prices are just like the two things they have is like who's going third, and here's a list of a bunch of people, and then it's James Haggins number 1 versus the field. Those are like the 2 bets available. And it's like Haggins isn't going first. Plus 450. Yeah, it's so low liquidity. The most I ever won was back before BetUS, banned anything. Anything over like $20, and I played a really long price on like 5th overall or something, and it was like a nice 4-figure hit for NHL, which is kind of crazy for NHL draft betting, because most of my NHL draft betting is very limited and very little here and there. So maybe we'll find some stuff this year. I got to run. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man.
We'll go over hockey. See you guys.
Man, it's only Monday.
It's a beautiful Monday.
Camping. How'd you
Cloudy.
do? Fun this weekend?
It's raining every day, but like just enough. Oh no, but just like enough, to keep my garden wet.